If you are just getting started with digital products, I want you to avoid the mistakes that I made when I started. And if you don't know me yet, I'm Mary Beth Santos. I help you create and sell digital products that are knowledge-based, things like ebooks, courses, workshops, challenges, and whatever other fun formats you can come up with. All right, let's get to the 5 things I wish I had known before I started. I really wish someone had told me I didn't have to start with a whole website, learn how to design sophisticated sales pages, or any of that before I got started. It's overwhelming, it can be expensive, and while you do want to learn all of that eventually, you do not need to in the beginning. You can start building your business and start making sales with really simple tools. When I first started, I created my own website and I started blogging to build my audience. There's no problem with that, but building a site is a skill you have to learn. Creating a really sophisticated sales page is a very advanced skill that you will need to learn. What I could have done and what I would absolutely do now if I were starting again is use something like ConvertKit to start my business. You might already know ConvertKit as an email service provider. They can help you collect email addresses and build your email list so that you can send them emails. But what you may not know about ConvertKit is it's almost like a little baby business in a box. You can set up your digital product to sell. I highly recommend that you start with something like an ebook. It's going to make your life a lot easier. You can create a simple sales page so that you have a link that you can put in your profiles on social media or wherever you want, so that you have a place that you can send your audience so they can go check out your ebook. ConvertKit will do the payment processing for you, which means they take your customer's credit card information, send you the money minus a small fee, 3.5% plus 30 cents for each sale, and then they'll deliver the product to your customer for you. And they do all of that for free up to 1,000 email subscribers. So you have started this whole business so far without spending any money. You also want to start simple when it comes time to create that first digital product. Start with something like an ebook. A how-to guide is perfect. Use a free Google Docs template to create the ebook. If you need something a little bit fancier than that, you want some different page layouts, you can try a Canva template. There are also free ebook templates for Google Slides that will work perfectly well. Just make sure that you're using technology that you're already comfortable with. If the content is something that people are willing to spend money on and it's easy to read and consume, then you don't have to worry about using anything fancy to create it. I know it feels like it needs to be more complicated than that. I know you've probably heard about a million other complicated and expensive tools that you should be using. You do not need to start with any of that. Start with simple things, because the technology, the expensive products will stop you in your tracks in the beginning if you let it. Later, when you're making some money, we can look at this fancy, sophisticated stuff, but in the beginning, don't worry about it. Later, hire someone to do that stuff for you. You do not need to solve every single problem that your audience has in their journey. You can and absolutely should pick one small problem to help them with your first digital product. As an example, I help people create and make money from digital products. I could make a first product that was how to make $100,000 in your first year. If I create that product, it's going to take me forever and it's going to be really expensive. That's $1,000 product minimum. I'm just getting started. That means that I'm going to have to learn how to do really good video, how to use course software, how to sell something that costs $1,000. None of those things are easy to do. Instead, I should be choosing one small problem that I can help my audience with in the beginning. I even have an example for you. This ebook that I created helps you find money-making digital product ideas. It is one small problem that my audience tells me over and over and over again that they need help with. The book is not expensive. It's $19. That means I can sell it from that simple sales page in ConvertKit, and I can sell it through a really simple funnel from social media. And because I've started with just one small problem, this didn't take me forever to create. I created that in like less than 10 days. You can absolutely write a book in less than 2 weeks and have it set up to sell so that you are ready to start making money. So pick that one small problem that you can solve for your audience, get it set up to sell, and then start creating your next product. I can remember very clearly when I was trying to outline my first course. It was a disaster. I knew it was a disaster, and I was sure that it could not be right. I had to be doing this wrong. But you know what? I wasn't doing it wrong. There really isn't any right way to start your outline. It's totally fine for it to start completely messy. As long as you are getting that information that is in your head out of your head and onto some paper or onto the screen, then you're doing fine. You're gonna take care of all of this mess in the end when you're putting it into your final format, okay? Only two things that matter at the outline stage is that you've chosen a topic that people are gonna be willing to spend money on, and that you start taking action. You start getting that information in your head, out of your head, and onto paper. If you stay stuck too long in learning, researching, planning, you will not get anything done. I even have another example of this for you in the digital product roadmap. I'll link to that down below. I include a link to an outline that I created for a book about houseplants that I created a long time ago, but you can see exactly how messy the outline is for it. And then I also include the finished product of that book so that you can see how pretty it comes out in the end. If I had known about these 10 improvements when I started trying to make money with digital products, I would have started making money a lot sooner. So the 10 improvements are from a book called Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. It's actually a good business book. I really hate reading business books, but this one's good. I read the whole thing. It's very actionable, great information in it, including these 10 improvements, which are going to be extremely valuable to your business. You're going to be thinking about these 10 improvements all through every stage of your business, when you're choosing your niche right at the beginning, when you are choosing the outcome, those problems that you're going to solve with your digital products for your audience. You're going to be thinking about these 10 improvements. You want to make sure that you are addressing at least one, preferably more of these with everything that you do. These are the things that people are willing to spend money on. You want to make sure that you are creating digital products that solve problems that people are willing to spend money on. So commit these to memory, keep them in mind when you are trying to figure out ideas for your content, when you're trying to think of what your next digital product is going to be, and absolutely be thinking of these when you are writing your sales pages. Make sure that your audience understands that if they follow you, if they buy the things that you have created for them, that their lives will be improved in one or more of these 10 ways. The fifth and final thing that I wish I had known before I started trying to make money with digital products is that you have to take action. Thinking about digital products, planning digital products, researching digital products does not get you a finished digital product. You have to take action. Until you have actually created something and gotten it set up to sell, you cannot make money. So do that messy outline. I have a workbook in the digital product roadmap if you want it to help you get started. Get it set up to sell with ConvertKit with that simple sales page. Take small actions every single day. Even if you feel like you don't know what you're doing, even if you don't know if you're doing it right. Fun fact, this is my first YouTube video. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I did a little bit of research before I started, but honestly, I barely ever watch YouTube. So I watched a few videos. I got a feel for like the flow and how people did things. And then I just jumped in and started. And even though it feels really uncomfortable to do something when you have no idea if you're doing it right or not, I know that in the 10 years that I've spent doing this online business thing, that the only way for me to get past that feeling of super discomfort is to jump in and start doing something. It might not be perfect, this first video, but I know I'll make the next one better. So get started, take some action. One thing I do know is at the end of these videos, you're supposed to say something like, follow along if you found this valuable, hit the subscribe button, maybe share it with somebody that you think would like it too, and be ready for more from me.